From my own experience, my own story, I've learned an awful lot. And I'm going to share some of that with you. I've picked out three really important things that have changed my life. On the screen there, I have a picture of a U-shaped valley. It's an image I use quite a lot because it reminds me of a period of time in my life. In 2011, I was playing for Cavan in an under-21 All-Ireland final. It was a huge positive time in my life. Lots of highs, lots of memories, lots of strong emotions. But 6 months later, I was dealing with suicidal thoughts. I'm going to talk to you about the stuff that got me well, the reason that I'm here today, because the stuff that got me well is the stuff that keeps me well. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. A lot of this stuff I didn't know when I was your age. I wish I did. Maybe some people tried to teach me and I didn't listen to them. If you had asked me when I was your age would I end up in the place that I was, I probably would have laughed you out of the room. I wouldn't have thought it would have happened to me, but it did. The first learning I picked up when I reached out for help was that I wasn't on my own. I have a podcast series on at the moment. It's called Real Talks, and I sit down with different GA players. We talk about different life experiences, things that happened, what you learned, picked up along the way. And the amount of times I think to myself, I used to think I was on my own feeling that way. And the brain can be a funny thing. When you're feeling that way, when you're feeling alone, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling isolated, sometimes it tricks you into thinking you're the only person in the world to feel this way, but you're not. So if you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad week, a bad month, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you're self-harming, if you've got body images, if you're struggling with body image, you're not on your own. I absolutely promise you, you're not the only person feeling that way, and you can find help if you ask for it. The next thing I want to talk about is resilience. Certain things in life just aren't going to go well. There's going to be relationship difficulties. You're going to win some finals, you're going to lose some finals, you're going to be injured, you're going to fail exams, you're going to go for a job and not get it. There's just ups and downs in life. It's inevitable. And you've got to accept that. But resilience is a way that you can learn to cope that, better equip yourself to deal with the challenges that life brings. The place of life I'm at now, I sort of have this mood map where I'm on a scale of 1 to 10. And resilience for me is recognising within a 2-point shift on that scale. So if I go from a 7 to a 6 to a 5, going, okay, draw a line, what's going on? Is there anything I can do about this? Do I need to talk to someone? And that's what resilience is for me. And what resilience will be for you could be completely different. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. But guess what? That's grand. Your first worry is to figure out what works for you. And there's lots of different ways and shapes and forms to build resilience, to have coping mechanisms. But take some time out today, this evening, during the week, to think about what you have in your life that helps you cope when you're having a bad day, when things aren't going well. Who do you have that you can talk to? What gives you a bit of a release? Have you got somewhere where you can go that can help you relax for a while? I like to go do goalie training, jump around in the muck for an hour, end up with muck in my ears, my jocks and my socks in places you don't want to know about. I'd imagine that's not probably up the street of everyone else, but that's grand. You just have to figure out what works for you. Is that okay? The last one and the most important one, it's around the concept of real talks, because having real talks in my life changed my life. I learned it the hard way in a counselling room when I got to a stage where I had to. I had no choice but to talk. But I haven't been back to a counselling session since 2014. And the reason I haven't is because I have better conversations in my life every day with family and friends, with people I know and people I trust. In 2011, when I was in going through that spell, that slide downwards that I referred to, my friend came home from college one day, and I'd been spending a lot of time in bed. I wasn't getting up, wasn't going to college, just wasn't doing the right things. And he sat on the end of my bed one day. He says, how's things going? You getting up today, buddy? And I was like, no, what's the point? Can't be bothered. I'm just staying here. I'm watching Game of Thrones. Leave me alone. And he looked at me again. He said, is everything all right? And I'm like, how do I get this fella out of my room? I am not talking to him about this. So eventually fobbed him off, changed the conversation, moved on, got him out, and went on my way. And a couple of months later, after starting counselling, I decided I was going to tell one or two of my friends. So I went back to this same fella. He was the first person that I approached. Said I was living with him. We went to school together, played football together all the way up. And I said, can I talk to you in the kitchen there for a minute? He said, Grant. So he followed me out. And I go, what you want? Oh, something to tell you. Silence. So I'm there and I'm like, oh, do I say it? Will I not? What do I say? How do I say it? And he just goes, what you want? I just blurted out. I said, I'm going to council. And he took a step back and he looked at me. And I sort of looked, I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. He has gone out the door. He's gone off Bebo, gone off Facebook, gone off Twitter, gone off Snapchat. He is out of my life. He is not going to be my friend anymore. And he took a step back and he looked at me again. And he said, counselling. And I said, yeah. And he said something I'll never, ever, ever forget. Do you know what he said? I went to that there last year for a while. He was running out, sneaking out of the house, lying to where he was going, lying about what was going on, hiding it from me. I was living in the same house, sneaking out, hiding it from him. And we just looked at each other that day and we just promised we're never doing that again. The reason I tell that story is, remember I showed you the valley at the start? That first conversation where he sat in my bed was about 2 or 3 months before I hit my rock bottom. The day where a suicidal thought became a suicidal feeling and almost became a suicidal action. And I could have just spoke to him that day. I could have opened up and maybe avoided going to that place. Sometimes in life, in school, we have societal pressures, peer pressure. And we give in to people around us. We give in to other people's expectations. And one of the big things I want to get across to you today is to encourage you to be yourself. Each and every one of us is a different person that can all make a positive contribution to people around us, to our own lives. That picture for me, I used to be that guy. Used to wear a mask, used to hide what I'm feeling, hide what I'm thinking, because I'm a man and I have to keep it to myself. And Tony touched upon it nicely there when he said about being more open and honest around you. And actually, one of the reasons that stopped me reaching out for help and being more open and honest with my friends was that I thought it would weaken our relationships. But from my experience and in my life, it has infinitely strengthened them. I have better friendships and better relationships with my family and friends now than I've ever had. And a quote that I always like is that the secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So I see there's people here scribbling notes, they're on their phones, they're chatting to each other. Take something out today. If you thought everything I've said there is pony, that is grand. Take something from someone else. Go home with 2 or 3 points. And make a change in your life that's for the better. Mind yourself, look after each other, and have better conversations each and every day with your family and with your friends. And just my call to action, I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. The best person you can be is yourself, so be you along the way. And good luck. Thank you.